Hello everyone, welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. If you're watching this video, this reading was meant to find you. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger, and I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I provide. And remember, everyone, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And the Nine of Pentacles. I feel like you're somebody who has been walking the path. I feel like you like to see the visible signs of progress. Like it feels like you need some sort of like visual or physical or tangible kind of confirmation that something's real. Yeah. And I feel like you're getting that. I feel like you're going to experience the line going up and to the right. Yeah. This is a card of financial independence. This is the card of like something working. And we know it's working. We can see it working. Because we can see that we're getting further down the road than where we were yesterday. So it's like it's distance over time, you know. That there's a way that you're going to confirm that things are heading in the right direction for you. Yeah. This is the card of harvest. This is the card of progress on the physical and financial plane, obviously, but also on the emotional and intellectual planes, and on the spiritual creative plane. So this is kind of like everything in your life is going to get better. Everything in your life is going to get more full and more rich and more profitable and more prosperous and more, I don't know, rich, more deep, more meaningful. This is you enjoying that life. This is you allowing yourself to slow down a little bit and enjoy the life that you've been living. Because you are living a successful life. This is a practice. It's a 9, right? It's a verb. It's a function. It's the way you do something. It's your Tao. This is your Tao of success. This is the path that you're on. Basically, Spirit is saying, whatever you're doing right now, keep doing it, because it is your spiral road up Big Rock Candy Mountain. It is the road to your success, the road to riches. You are on the road to your best life. Enjoy the journey and enjoy, the destination, but enjoy what you're creating. Whatever you are doing and the way that you're doing it is the successful way. So it's kind of like, don't change anything. Yeah. Let's put this card into a little bit of context. We have a Prince of Cups, the authenticity. There will be emotional pressure for you to change something. Okay? This road that you're walking, this path that you're on, do not let anybody or anything make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Okay? You're a bubble in an ocean. You are a soul in a very hostile environment. So you might be sailing through some enemy waters here. There will be emotional pressure for you to alter what you're doing. Resist. Oh, 9 of Cups too. Wow. Wow. This is you living a happy life. You are, the way you're living, you have a practice, a Tao about you for success and happiness. You are the Empress. To me, the Empress is always a 9 and a 10 of Cups and Pentacles. Right? So a 9 and a 9, living the Empress life. And the 10 and the 10 would be, the Empress, the reality around you, the abundance around you, your best life. This is you living your best life. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing it wrong. You got to stay true to yourself here. Because if you're living somebody else's Empress life, it's not going to feel this way. It may be that. It may be successful, but it's not going to feel this way. You have to go this path that feels right for you. You're pursuing your happiness. You're following your bliss. Stay true to yourself. Stay authentic. Stay genuine. Yeah, stay bona fide. There it is. Oh, the Empress. Wow. Wow. You're living your Empress life. You're building your Empress life. The best life, the good life. Emerald City, Big Rock Candy Mountain. And there's the goat. The goat's doing it their own way. Okay? And the Seven of Swords. Yeah, there will be, something's being revealed. I'm kind of shocked by this because I feel like someone's coming in and telling you you're doing it wrong. Somebody's coming in and getting mad at you or trying to make you feel bad for how you are living your life. And that, I think, needs to be resisted at all cost. Let's get some fire energy in the reading, yeah? Two of Cups. Queen of Swords. Chariot and Queen of Cups. Okay. Well, that's good. That's good, I think. Maybe my reaction is fire, right? Kind of like fight, resist, stop, get out of here. There's the door. Let me show you the way out kind of thing. I feel like you're kind of like passive resistance. You kind of kill them with kindness kind of thing, right? You're not going to let anybody, you're just, maybe really what the idea is that someone's going to reveal themselves to you in their jealousy, in their betrayal, in they're not trustworthy. They're not really advocating for you. They don't want you to succeed because of their envy. But I feel like that's just going to roll right off your back. Like you don't even care. My reaction, of course, is let's get some fire in here. And you're just saying, nah, it's all good. It's not even worth it. Yeah. I think your way is the best way. Let's select the mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith Waite Tarot. This is the factor infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set this down right over here with big red ant right on top. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together and it will give us the confirmation that we need at the end of the reading. If at any moment during this message you feel like you might know what that card might be, put your prediction in the comments, okay? Now, as we look around the room, we see major, major, major arcana cards. We don't see any fire. We see water, 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 water. And we see our air cards. And, of course, we see our earth card right there in the middle. And, of course, the Empress is, to me, a combination of water and earth. So we have water and earth. We've got, we've got water here. There's even some water in the Queen of Swords here. This obviously is water. Capricorn is earth, right? It's that devil card, that Capricorn energy. So we've got a lot of really good stuff. And then we got the air to deal with. We just got the air to deal with. The thing is, you got your armor on. So this person may be firing some shots at you, and it may dent and nick your armor a little bit, but who cares? It's not going to faze you. Their opinion doesn't even matter. Like a bunch of flies buzzing in your ear. Just get out of here. Shoo. Yeah, shoo fly don't bother me. Anyway, the Nine of Pentacles. You're living a successful life. You're independent. You're comfortable. You're achieving what you set out to achieve. It's a life that feels good. There's comfort and pleasure here. You're reaching a point of self-sufficiency, maybe financial independence. This is just you feeling like you're on the right road. I'm living the right life, the right way. And you're not hurting anybody. Your life is growing. Things are getting better. You feel an enrichment physically and financially. So you have a good physical and financial life, way, Tao. And mentally, emotionally, you feel like you're doing the right things. You're learning, you're growing, you're open, you're having relationships. It's all good. And spiritually, creatively, you feel like this is the path, you want to keep walking down. And it may be financial independence. It may be that maybe it's like living situation independence. Maybe it is just you feeling like no one else gets to make decisions for you. It could be self-sufficiency. It could be even you saying, I don't need anybody's help. It's probably there if you do need it, but it's like, no, I can take care of my own now. You're standing on your own 2 feet. You're walking your path. You're making decisions from fullness, not from scarcity. You're enjoying what you've earned, and you're relaxed. I feel such a cool flow in your life right now. And that sort of is attracting more harvest and more abundance and more good stuff. Celebrate your autonomy, because this is the life that you've built. And this is, again, it's a functioning thing. You're generating something. And, well, when we talk about the Devil card, we'll talk about the driving force of life. Because, well, I already brought it up. Let's talk about it. The Devil is the engine of the car. The human drives, the driving force of your life. One of those, there's three human drives. There's 3 fingers. One is the creative drive, or also called the generative drive. You've probably heard me talk about this before. The generative drive is your desire to build something, to generate something that's going to improve the quality of life, generating money or success or leaving your mark on the world or creating something. It's a creative, generative drive. So to me, it's 9 of Pentacles. As you're doing that, you're driving that road. Another one of those drives is the pleasure drive. You have a desire, we all do, for our life to feel good. I want good, warm, fuzzy feelings about my life. I want positive emotions, positive relationships. I want to feel proud. I want to feel comfort and luxury sometimes. I want to feel pleasure. I want to feel intimacy. Okay, a sensual kind of desire. I want to feel a sense of purpose. I want to feel satisfaction. Well, that's our 9 of Cups. The third drive is the sovereign drive, also called the assertive drive or the aggressive drive. And it's basically saying, I don't want anybody to take these 2 away from me. That sovereign drive is saying, I have an authority. I have agency over my life. I get to make the choices within reason, obviously, right? I get to pursue my life the way I want to. It's sovereignty. Simple. We have a desire to be independent and sovereign and not beholden to anybody in a negative way, And I think that's what's being challenged by you right now. Or not by you, but challenged of you. Because of that 7 of Swords. Somebody's coming in and challenging your sovereignty. And that's what this card is all about. And that's, I think, why we've got the Emperor is my card for the sovereign drive. In terms of the major arcana, it's the sovereign drive. Well, this is the pleasure drive, right? The Emperor would be the sovereign drive. Your Emperor right now is got full armor on and is sitting in their warrior chariot, a chariot of war. Because it is basically saying, right now in your life, everyone, something or someone is trying to challenge your sovereignty. And that's big, and I'm shocked by this. And yes, I feel every single one of you, if you're watching this reading is meant for you. So stay alert. Okay? That big revelation is that someone in your life doesn't want you to be as happy or as successful as you are, or as sovereign as you are. And I think it's just because they're jealous. So we can't really be mad at them, But we do need to defend our sovereignty. That is the essence. Anyway, so the 9 of Pentacles, your autonomy, your sovereignty, your success, your creativity, Venus in Virgo. You're creating the life that is pleasing to the eye for you. You're creating the life that is aesthetically pleasing, has the artifacts that you like, the assets that you like, the money, the art, the visual appearance of something is how you want it to look. And of course, emotionally too, it's how you want it to feel. Now, with all of that is, of course, your Prince of Cups. This is your authentic self. This is you just feeling it. This is you just enjoying your life, and it's like there's not a care in the world. And that's why this is like a red alert, stay alert kind of like vibe here. Because this is someone who's very trusting of everybody. Because you're emotionally stable. Because you give people the benefit of the doubt. Because you're a mature person. You're an adult. Whoever this is coming in, not so much an adult. But this isn't you being naive. This is you being in control of your emotions. Even when somebody has something to say, it doesn't change you. You're a bubble in an ocean. And that bubble is just floating along, unchanged by the water around it. Inside that bubble, perfectly dry. That's crazy, right? Perfectly dry in there. Perfect air. It's just, I mean, it's not much, of course, right? But that's, you know, it could maybe you're a really big bubble, I don't know. But you're untouched by the water around you, by the emotion, by the vibes around you. Although the surface of that bubble, it's a semi-permeable membrane. Some of your thoughts and feelings will go out. Some of the thoughts and feelings will come in. Okay? But it doesn't affect your structural integrity. You can bend and expand and contract a little bit. You can sort of get a little wobbly as a bubble, but you stay intact. So that's exactly what this card is about for your life. It's emotional maturity. It is empathy for other people. Your beliefs and values can come in and they can go out to other people, but it's not going to change who you are. You're not going to abandon yourself or your path because of all that pressure, that emotional pressure coming in. It's not going to crush you into smithereens. So you can be an empath, you can be a bubble in an ocean and maintain your structural integrity because you're an adult, because you're emotionally mature, right? You can feel your feelings all the way. You don't have to let them run the show. You can feel for other people and really have compassion and love for other people without letting them interfere with the really good stuff you've got going on in life, whether this is business or family or relationships or your health or just your progress and your stability spiritually. You can be compassionate, but still have boundaries. And that boundary is that semi-permeable membrane of the bubble in the ocean. I like my analogy. Gosh darn it. You can speak from the heart, but you got to stay grounded. You got to stay clear. Protect your sovereignty. Stay alert. Okay? And I think that you're very open. I think that you're a giver. You're a very generous person, at least emotionally, you know. And I think other people kind of feel safe near you. But then as people start to feel safe near you and in your presence, sometimes those people can become too familiar. That they feel now that it's safe for them to act a fool. I wonder if that's going to be the mystery card. People get close to you, they feel safe, and then their worst qualities come out. And we can't judge them. And you're not judging them. But you're also going to protect yourself. And you're not going to let the actions, opinions, or vibes, or, the criticisms of other people affect you or infect you. Okay. You got to be emotionally steady. right now. Because the really great thing here is also this 9 of Cups, the happiness. Because what could happen is all these low vibes could come in to your semi-permeable membrane and could really get you to start doubting yourself or feeling, because the opinion coming in is that you're doing things wrong and, people giving you advice or criticizing things, finding something bad to say about you because of their jealousy. And then you're going to start to feel a diminishing of that 9 of Cups. No. Because that is a violation of your sovereignty. That's why we need the armor. Okay, it's time to suit up with that armor, because you're protecting your own happiness here, your fulfillment, your emotional abundance, your satisfaction, the overflow, the gratitude, or even just the enjoyment of your life. Something that you've desired for your entire life is aligning in your life, not hypothetically, but in a true way. And you don't need to diminish this or hide this or even sour this just because somebody else is jealous, somebody else is uncomfortable with your success. They're only saying what they say because they're jealous of what you've created for yourself, because they haven't done it. Maybe they will at some point, maybe they won't, but you have. Okay? You don't have to downplay your joy just to protect other people. You don't want to rub it in their faces, oh, look what I have, look how good my life is. No. But you live your life as fully and as richly as you want. And if they've got something negative to say, you need to protect this life that you're living. Block them. Don't engage with them. Let it roll right off your back and into the dumpster back there, Don't let it diminish your enjoyment of your life or your feeling of accomplishment or your satisfaction. Don't let anybody else plant those seeds. Okay? This is you feeling safe to just kind of relax into your own life. Don't let anybody stop. Don't let anybody interfere with that. Okay? This is happiness that you've earned. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't luck. Somebody comes in and says, well, you got lucky. No, you didn't. You worked hard. You sacrificed more than anybody else. And that's why you're receiving all this harvest energy now. It was not luck. It was not an accident. It was intentional sacrifice. You suffered for a long time. And now you get to enjoy it. Now you get to enjoy what's coming in. This is a very sweet and satisfying chapter of your life. Okay? And feeling this requires permission. Not their permission. You give yourself permission to have a life that feels this good. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if anybody says I deserve it or not. Or if I'm doing it wrong. Or you know what I mean? No. You've earned this. You're giving yourself permission. You don't have to ask anybody else. This is how the path is supposed to feel when you're doing it right. Don't let anybody tell you you're doing it wrong. Okay? And now the Empress is right along those lines too, because the Empress, for a long time, that's why it's in the background here. The Empress is you suffering and sacrificing for a long, long, long time. Giving, 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 giving. The Empress is the one that feeds life from its own, vitality. That's why there's that little pelican on the card, right? The pelican will cut open its own breast and feed its young of its own blood. This is you sacrificing whatever it takes in order to grow something, to make something happen, to make it real, to get it to work. It's devotion. It's the devotion of a parent to a child, or a business owner to their company. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to go without a paycheck for 6 years if I have to. I'm going to put in as much time, effort, energy, money, and space, as much blood, sweat, and tears as it takes, whatever it takes. But now, it's time for that to come back to you. It's time for you to receive. This is your time to nourish yourself and to get that support that you need, to beautify your space, to live the life that is aesthetically pleasing to you, right? The Venus in Virgo there. This is Venus, right? It's time for you to enjoy life now. You've lived like no one else. You've suffered like no one else, so that you could be as happy as no one else. Okay? It's time for you to enjoy what is satisfying. Art, food, comfort, luxury, going on the cruise, going to the restaurant, buying yourself something nice, whatever it may be. You've had to say no to yourself. It's kind of like, you got a plate of food. It's like either I could eat this or I could feed my kids. What are you going to do? Obviously, you're going to feed the kids. You've gone without. You've gone to bed hungry so that other people could eat. It's your turn to eat now. Now you've earned enough where you can have as much as you want, and so can the people, in your life. And that pleasure is not wrong. It's not a distraction. You've earned it. And in fact, you need it. You need to nurture yourself so that you can continue to walk this path of success. You've got to nurture and nourish yourself because you've sacrificed for a long time. Giving. Yeah. And of course, we got that devil card. We talked about the devil card. This is that engine. You've got to fuel the engine because you're not done creating. You're not done with your creative drive. You're not done with your pleasure drive. You're not done with your sovereign drive. The engine still has a lot of miles left. A lot of life left in it. So you might as well keep going. Yeah. And so you have to nurture yourself. You have to enjoy the good things because that restores your spirit, fuels the engine. You got to put gas in the tank. In fact, it's okay to upgrade the car. It's okay to try to live a life that feels like you're in a little bit more comfort now. It's kind of, you have this engine, but it's surrounded by a really kind of janky, like a hoopty type of car. Wheels falling off, no AC, you know what I'm saying? Bad gas mileage. Maybe it's a point where you got to upgrade. It's okay for you to upgrade your life. And it's okay for you to feel happy about that. Because what you're doing with the creative drive and the pleasure drive and the sovereign drive is you're improving the quality of life for yourself and your loved ones. You're alleviating suffering for yourself and your loved ones. And you're going to keep doing that. So the engine of the car has many more miles to go. You're just driving a little bit more of a luxurious automobile now. Metaphorically speaking, but maybe you're upgrading the car. I don't know. If you can't, get a car. Get a car that you like, if you can afford it. If it's in the budget, if it makes sense, get it, do it. Buy the thing, because you've earned it. So I think this is really awesome. This is you allowing yourself to have drives, to have desires. Okay? The drive for pleasure, the drive for creation, the drive for intimacy, the drive for expression. These are sacred things, and they need fuel. Okay? And now the 7 of Swords is the distraction of all the other voices Everybody's got an opinion. You know what they say about opinions, right? They're like armpits. Everybody's got them. Most of them stink. I know that's silly. But I think that's kind of like the silliness that you're going to have to invoke when this happens. I don't know. I think it's probably one person, maybe one person. I kind of think it's a Gemini person. It's just popped into my head. Maybe it's Gemini, but I don't know for sure. I don't want to like alienate all the Gemini people out there. It may be an older female. Okay? But they're coming in trying to poke holes in your vibes, trying to rain on your parade. They're trying to be a wet blanket. They're trying to poke holes in your, they're trying to pop your balloon, basically. You know what I mean? They're trying to knock the ice cream out of your hand. And so, in some ways, it's good to just kind of protect your energy. It's good to just kind of keep what you're doing to yourself. You don't have to show off. You don't have to tell everybody. You don't have to post everything on the internet. Because that just kind of invites criticism. Doesn't matter how happy you are and how genuine and how authentic and how real and how hard-earned your success is. If you post it on the internet, somebody's going to have some bovine excrement to say. Someone's going to have some smack to talk. And so this card sometimes is like, just don't reveal everything. You don't have to tell everybody, because then you're not inviting everybody's opinion. And I don't want their opinion. I didn't ask you what you thought of my life or how I'm living. Not everyone should have access to your world. Okay? And it's not, you're not some celebrity. I don't think. Maybe some of you are. But it's not you have this feeling of being better than everybody or that you're some elite person or something. No, I just feel like you're trying to protect what you've built. You're trying to protect your own peace of mind and your own sovereignty. So be careful with your inner circle. Choose your friends wisely. Protect your energy. Protect your plans. Protect your vibes. Okay? This is someone coming in trying to point the finger at you for something. And I think it's a revelation to you, because I feel like this, you're going to be shocked. I feel like this is somebody that you thought you knew. Somebody that you thought you trusted. Yeah. Now, if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do. And let me know which card on the path of the dove resonates with you the most. All right. Now, I want to do, before we talk about the path of the serpent, I want to do an oracle of manifestation. And here we go. The clear passage. You have many choices to make to move closer to your desires. I make good choices. You make good choices. In other words, the way you're living your life, the way, right, the Tao of your successful life and your sort of happy life, physically, practically, and, spiritually, emotionally, the way you're living your life is good and right and authentic and genuine and sincere and noble and virtuous. Okay? Your path is clear. Your conscience needs to be clear. If anybody is accusing you of anything or trying to ruin your vibes, don't let them. You have clear passage. Spirit is saying that you're making good decisions. You're living your life the right way. You've got love in your heart. Two of Cups, connection, harmony. You've got affection for people. You like to have quality people in your life. I think you're somebody like, when you're with somebody, like one-on-one, you have this ability to make them feel like they're the only person that matters to you. I feel like people know that you're real and you're genuine and you're authentic. In some ways, you tend to judge your life or the quality of your life by the quality of your individual relationships. you know? And that's a good thing, because I think that who we are is built up of all of our relationships, you know? Not just with other people, but your relationship to your body, your relationship to your work, your relationship to your pets, to your house, you know? That sort of, if you look at all your relationships in life, how do you relate to your house? What's your relationship like with your home? What's your relationship like with your pets, your plants, your people, your job, your work? What's your spiritual relationship? What's your relationship to the larger community? What's your relationship to your town? What's your relationship to your neighbors? What's your relationship to ice cream, or to bubble baths, or to the cosmos, to the universe? Okay. When you take all of those relationships, it paints a pretty clear picture of who we are as people. Someone who has a bad relationship with their parents, or a bad relationship with their kids, or they're just at odds with their neighbors, or they're at odds with themselves or their spouse, or they don't treat their body nice. They're at odds with everybody. It paints a pretty clear picture of who that person is, what makes up their character, you know, at least in that moment. And it's always changing, of course, you know. But I think you understand that. And so I think you try to be very sincere and very real and very authentic. And I think that you, in a way, you kind of pride yourself on your relationships. And so when somebody comes in and they're acting like this, I think it really upsets you. I think you're more sensitive than you admit. And that's a good thing, but it's also kind of exposes you to sorrow and suffering. Suffering knowing that, like, as much as you love somebody and care about somebody, they're experiencing something totally different. And they're looking at you in a way that kind of hurts. Not, it doesn't hurt what they're saying, but it hurts that they might see you that way, you know? And there's nothing you can really do about that. I mean, that's why there's no fire. There's no wands here. There's nothing you can do but try to understand it, try to ignore it, try to just still be kind, but most of all, stay true to who you are. Okay? Stay true to who you are. You're a genuine person. You know? Anyway, let's talk about this Queen of Swords here. The Queen of Swords, coming in from the environment, this is about your relationships. And to me, this feels like you're getting a real, like, bird's eye view. You're getting really like I don't know if it's a bird's eye view or a front row seat. You're getting a very clear view of somebody's relationship with you. Okay? Because your relationship to them is showing who you are. You love, you care for them, you're sincere, you're honest, you know. But their relationship with you is different. It's not reciprocal. It's not a mirror image. It's not one-on-one, two-way street kind of thing. Their relationship with you is much different than your relationship to them. And this is you seeing it without illusion. It's like you really saw the nature of how they perceive you or how they perceive your relationship. This is a need for boundaries. You need to see things clearly, and you need to set the boundary, protect your sovereignty. You need to be discerning, trust your perception, protect yourself, err on the side of caution. Make decisions that will protect your emotional well-being, protecting this. And that's why these two positions of the dove and serpent spread are very intimately connected. These two relate to each other, okay? Because this is the internal reality, this is the external reality. External reality is different than the way you imagined it to be. This person isn't who you thought they were. Maybe an older female. Some distance might be needed. Okay? Make decisions that will protect your emotional well-being. Say less. Don't engage with them Don't offer up so much information. Just don't engage. Don't speak. Less words. Say less words, okay? Put some distance between you and them. You can have compassion, but you can also have boundaries. Honor your standards, because those standards were earned through experience. You have a right to say, I'm not tolerating that in my life. I'm sorry, I love you, but no. I'm shutting the door. You're not becoming cold. Doesn't mean you're not a good person. In fact, the contrary means that you make good decisions. Remember, type that in the comments for me. I make good decisions. Seeing things clearly is allowing you, the clear passage, the clear vision, allowing you to make good decisions. Okay? You're going to continue to make good decisions and choose what aligns with your truth, even if others don't understand or don't agree or have an opinion or have some criticism. These are the haters, the naysayers, and the instigators. Okay? The haters and the isolators, right? Anyway, so we got that. Chariot card. Your sovereignty. This is you protecting your sovereignty. I feel like this is you with your armor on. Okay? The emperor has put on the armor, is sitting in the chariot, holding the precious cargo of your sovereignty, of your life, of your emotional well-being, whatever it is, holding the Holy Grail, and is going to defend it. Okay? There's a determination here. There's a commitment. There's a devotion. You are devoted to your life. You're not going to let anything get in the way of that. I feel like within the next 7 days, this person will reveal themselves to you. So stay alert. Okay? Stay alert. We're not debating. We're not talking. We're not going to have a conversation. We're putting the visor down. Basically, when the visor comes down, it means we're not talking. It's time for action. It's time to move. And I don't think that you're taking any sort of, you're not taking any preemptive action, but it's defensive. You're defending your sovereignty. You're not out there conquering the world. You're just trying to preserve what I have. I'm trying to protect what I have. I don't want it to fall apart. To me, the chariot is our devotion and our commitment. And that gives us that strength to really hold something together. I don't want to let it fall apart. It's a hedge against entropy. And if this person's coming in and they're threatening to bring in entropy, I think I'm going to shut and lock the door, even if you're wrong. Even if this person just having a bad day, or it's not really true, or they didn't mean it, or whatever it is. You're erring on the side of caution. I'd rather shut and lock my doors and be wrong than to leave my doors wide open and let the wrong thing in. You see. And, well, the Queen of Cups there is kind of the same thing. It's a shocker. I feel like this is really throwing you for a bit of a loop, because I think it's somebody that you thought you could trust, somebody that you love, you have compassion for them. Maybe it's somebody that even you like, someone that you fed from your own plate, somebody that you took care of, maybe. Okay, somebody that you nurtured. And this is you trying to understand. See, the queens of the tarot are always looking at the past, trying to understand, like, why that happened, or how could it really possibly be true? Trying to just process through the feelings of something, right? Because it's, again, what they're saying doesn't hurt you. But just the fact that they feel that way about you, that's what hurts. That's what you're trying to understand. Doesn't matter what they say. I could say whatever you want. But the fact that you feel that way about me is hard for me to grasp. So this is you trying to process through those emotions. This is you realizing that you're more sensitive than you admit. You know, you don't need to absorb. You need to observe, but not absorb the emotions of this other person. You don't need to react to them in any way. We need to respond in a way that is protective of our sovereignty. But we don't need to be reactive. We need to stay calm. Okay? It may be your instinct to try to connect with them, offer support, invite them in. Come and have a cup of tea, let's talk about it. Be careful with that. That might not be the right move. But it may be your instinct to love, your instinct to help. You need emotional boundaries. Okay? And I think that this is you really sitting in your sovereignty safely, trying to process what all this means and why you feel this way. Like, this is not fun, you know. But it's emotional intelligence. And I think that this is also self-love, self-compassion, self-protection. As much as it is compassion for others and acceptance of others, it needs to be radical self-acceptance and radical self-love. Now let's look at the mystery card. I have no idea what this will be. Maybe the Emperor. Maybe the Emperor being the sovereign drive. If you have a prediction, put it in the comments. Let's see. It's another King of Cups. Same card, same energy, authenticity. Okay, having boundaries, being compassionate, but having a limit, protecting the life that we're living, and not letting anyone else's opinions or criticisms change the way you feel about yourself. And change the way you feel about the life that you're living and the way that you're living your life. Your lifestyle, your success, the way that your path, your Tao, the way you're living your life. You're making good decisions. You're living your life the right way and the way that feels right for you and the people that you care about. But for you, ultimately, because of that agency and that sovereignty. All right. Now, Magic Makers, thank you for being here. If you want the deeper layer, your extended reading is waiting for you down below. I'll see you there.